I'm going to begin a new drawing now. File, New. Again, going with the Autocad drawing template, opening that up. I'm going to draw lines now. This time I want to get a little bit more in detail about drawing straight lines. Selecting the line icon, specifying the first point. In the drawing example where we created lines, there were at different angles and there were no straight lines. As architects, we want to make sure that we can draw perfectly straight lines. In order to accomplish this task, we are going to turn on what is called the Ortho drawing aid. That's located down here in the drawing aids, and it says Ortho mode. Currently, the button is not selected, meaning it is not turned on, and I'm going to click on it one time. When I click on it, just above you can see in the command line it indicates that Ortho is now on. As I move my cursor over, you can see that it's forcing a straight line, whether it's horizontal or vertical. I cannot change that. What I'm going to do now is select a point, and then select another point, and as I continue to select on screen, it will not allow me to draw anything other than perfectly straight lines. If I wanted to go back and draw a line at another angle, I can simply select the Ortho button again, and that turns Ortho off, and now I can draw at any angle. There's a keyboard shortcut to Ortho, and that is the F8 key. If I press F8 on my keyboard, Ortho is turned on. Pressing it again turns it off. And as you can see, the button does change every time I press the F8 key. Another thing about the F8, the Ortho mode, the drawing aid, is that I can select it at any time while I am drawing. For example, I can also select the circle command and begin drawing a circle, and I can turn on Ortho mode, limiting my cursor movement, or turn it off. Another mode that is also available to us is polar tracking. Let me show you how that works. Turning polar on, I begin to draw a line, and as you can see, it's indicating a specific angle. Right now 330, 300, 270. And I can make changes to the angle increment by simply right-clicking on the text and selecting Settings. And under Settings, as you can see, polar tracking is on. That is my F10 key on the keyboard. Polar angle setting, increment angle, currently set to 30. If I change that, say, to 45, and I select OK, I am now going to draw lines at exactly 45-degree angles. If I wanted to draw a straight line, I obviously can do so by selecting 180, or selecting 90, 270, or 0. Or I can simply turn Ortho back on, and what that does, it turns polar tracking off and allows me to draw my straight lines again. I'd like to also point out that as I am drawing lines and I select a line, or I pick a point that I did not want to select, you'll notice on the command line it indicates to specify next point, or it indicates close/undo. I can type undo, I can type U and enter, and what that will do is stop the selection that I had just made. If I type U again and enter, it also undid that last point that we had selected, and I can then pick another point and Just to reinforce that, I can undo again and undo again, and it takes me back to the beginning. When I am done, I'm simply going to enter.